Buffalo, the spread is 11 points. Buffalo favored by 11 at Lambeau. Green Bay's plus 400, Buffalo minus 550 on the money line. The over-under is 47 and a hook. The Bills, according to FBI, have a 83.3% chance of winning. By the way, 16.7% chances hit all the time. Right? Like almost a 1 in 5 shot. It happens. But let me ask you this, Jay. How surprised are you that Aaron Rodgers is an 11-point dog at home?
Surprised?
At home?
At home.
11 points?
Yeah. I mean, look, I think the Bills are playing best football in the NFL along with the Eagles. Like, I think these two teams are completely...
Sorry. It's Packers at Bills. I knew something was wrong with that. It's Packers Bills. They're not at Lambeau.
Yeah, I was like, when you were talking about that...
Yeah,
okay,
sorry.
It didn't make sense. It's all right. That's not surprising at all, right? Like, I don't see the Packers winning a single quarter.
Okay, here's the question.
You're asking me a different question.
Take every single thing away, Jay. Take all of the personnel away, except leave the quarterbacks. Rob Ninkovich, ESPN NFL analyst. This is what really occurred to me the other day. Take every player away from both teams, but leave the quarterbacks. Who has the advantage?
Josh Allen.
So Josh Allen's better. So Josh Allen's better than Aaron Rodgers. I just want to say that right now. At this point, Josh Allen's a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers.
Right now, in the point of the season?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay. I just want to state that. Yeah, Josh Allen's better than Aaron Rodgers. You'd rather have Josh Allen as your quarterback than Aaron Rodgers.
Is
that obvious, really? Because Aaron Rodgers, definitively, you can point to someone. I think he and Mahomes have been going back and forth the last 4 years. Who's the best? Is it Mahomes? Have a guy you put ahead of Rodgers?
Aaron Rodgers on the Buffalo Bills, they'd be really good. Scary.
I just said take everyone away from both teams.
I know, but I'm saying both of them
way.
are very good. Like, if you take the attributes, you would take just go down the list of Josh Allen. He's young. He can run the football. He's 6'4", 260 or whatever, how big he is. He's a massive dude. Like, you're just taking that because of his age and what else he can bring to the game. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he's still really good football player, like very good football player. He's just the supporting cast around him isn't.
But again, I just want to point something out. He's won back-to-back MVPs on 13-game winners. He has been way up there in QBR, put all the stats up. Back-to-back reigning MVP Aaron Rodgers is, at this point in time, you're not going to find someone who says they're going to take him over Josh Allen. So I just want to be very clear. Josh Allen's better than Aaron Rodgers.
Due to the people around him, though.
I didn't say that.
I know, but that's
you can't look at it and say, well,
that's like which car would you rather, Ferrari or Corvette? But you got to take the motor out. You're like, what?
No, not the motor. They are the motor. That's what I'm saying. They're the engine.
It's just interesting. Like, Aaron Rodgers is still a special talent. It's fit with the team, and I never really. It's really funny, Nick. Like, being an athlete in sports, when people try to remove the ancillary pieces, and it doesn't work that way. It can never work that way.
It's like saying the Chicago Bulls without some of their key pieces, like in the '90s. What would they have been? It's like.
Yeah, but I could tell you definitively, Michael Jordan was better than everybody else. He was the best. And it seems to me right now, at this point in time in this season, Josh Allen's the best football player, right? Number one.
Yeah,
and the two guys nipping at his heels, neither one is Aaron Rodgers.
I'd much rather have Josh Allen on my football team over the last couple of years than Aaron Rodgers, but that's...
Really? Well, the last couple of years?
That's 2 years.
I think this is new.
Well, I was talking about how much I liked Josh Allen last year.
No, he was great, but what I'm saying is there's a reason Rodgers won back-to-back MVP.
There's also like this thing called chemistry and fit with age groups. Like Josh Allen is closer in age to everybody else. You start to feel like the old guy when you're in your 30s and you see 20-year-olds walk in, you're looking at them and they're going out to the clubs on the weekends, looking for companionship, and you're like, well, I'm going home. I got
my kids,
the wife and kids, and there's a difference.
If they swap teams, would the Bills be as good with Rodgers as they are with Josh Allen?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they'd be pretty good.
They would.
You would miss some of the runs that Josh Allen. You wouldn't have the quarterback power. You wouldn't have all those things that make a defense. It's tough. You can't. How do you stop that guy when he's barreling down on you as a big dude?
So they wouldn't be quite as good as they are now.
I think that they might be better in maybe some other areas, spreading
What
the ball
about the
around.
Packers? Would the Packers be better or worse with Josh Allen than they are with
They'd be
Aaron
better
Rodgers?
because you could run the football.
Sounds to me like Josh Allen's better.
Nick, I want to ask you a question. because I posed this at the beginning of our show coming off last night's game, right? So we heard yesterday that Kadarius Toney gets traded from the Giants to the Chiefs, right? It's a luxury. It's an added-on weapon. I seen Robbie Anderson, Kadarius Toney get traded for cheap. I see Robert Quinn go from the Bears to the Eagles, right? Upgrades. The team that I haven't seen try to upgrade at all, the Green Bay Packers. And I get that there are challenges on the defensive side of the ball because we expected that defense to be a top 5 defense. They've been nowhere close. But is it the same thing once again that Brian Gutekunst and company are they not going to make a move for Aaron Rodgers?
I think it comes down to, what are you giving up for it? So some of the mentality of we're giving up future picks in the draft, which are young talent that you don't know what that third round, second round pick is going to be when you trade it away. You look at the Eagles, they went and got Robert Quinn because they felt that if they added depth in the pass rushing room, for whatever they gave up for him, I don't know exactly the details on that trade, but their short-term gain for what they're trying to do this season is better than the long-term gain of the draft pick, whichever that may be. And I think you also have to look at the needs because a pass rusher is a simple plug and play. They don't need to know anything about the defense. You literally, Robert Quinn comes into the building, you say, all right, it's third down. Go do your thing. Go ahead. It doesn't matter what the coverage is. Doesn't matter the game. Go get the quarterback. But a receiver or maybe somebody else that's more intricate in having to learn the system might not be so beneficial in the first, I'd say, maybe 3 to 5 weeks.
So this is the team that we're going to see moving forward for the Green Bay Packers.
And then what's available? What could the Packers add to their roster right now that's going to help some of the issues that they have? And what team? Brandon Cooks maybe, but he's guaranteed $18 million next year.
I want to get back to the Eagles because Jay's mind has been on Aaron Rodgers all morning. All morning, right? This is where your mind goes when this comes up. What are they doing for Rodgers?
I also feel like Rodgers could, at this point, could kind of be sitting back like, I told you so. Maybe he had some input in not bringing someone in or maybe bringing someone in that he would like to have brought in. But they were like, no, we'll just stick to the draft picks. You take care. You're the best quarterback. We're paying you $50 million. You get the best out of them. And, at this point, if you're Rodgers, you're like, look, I'm not the one drafting or selecting who they're bringing in the offseason. I would love to have that. Remember, that was some of the issue, that there was a problem with him not having input in the process. So maybe in the process, because a lot of times these office management people, they feel like they're, they never played, but they feel like they're the smartest guys in the room. Oh, no, I'm the GM. I'm the pro scout. I know what I'm looking at. And as a player, all right, well, what's going on?
I hate those people who never played and think they're so smart. So listen, Nick.
There's a lot of guys out there.
They're the
majority of coaches,
they're
never
the
played.
worst. Oh, they're the worst.
Max, you played before.
Anyway.
You box? You ever box?
God, it's just the worst. So, Nick, I want to get back to the Eagles and the Cowboys for a second. The Eagles are excellent on both sides of the line of scrimmage, right? In fact, if you kind of averaged it out, I'd say they have the best line of scrimmage in the NFL. If you look at the offensive line plus what they have up front on defense. But in terms of just purely the defensive front, I think the Cowboys probably got
younger,
it.
more explosive.
Yeah, but they add Quinn, and I'm like, ooh, the Eagles just made, that's the Cowboys' strength. They just kind of made that closer in an arms race up front.
I love Robert Quinn. I think he's a heck of a football player. He had 18.5 sacks last year. He has 1 this year.
They're doubling him every time.
They're doubling him. So you put him in chipping, doubling, attention.
Yeah,
that's the attention aspect of it. He gets the attention because he's a good pass rusher. So it's just like if you were pass rushing next to Aaron Donald, the amount of numbers you have, you can't block them all. So they have to select who is the guy that we have to put the most attention to, and then the rest of the guys have to win their one-on-ones. So I think with the Eagles, they have a good defense. They have a good front. You bring in Robert Quinn, he's an addition. He comes on the field on third down. The offense has to make a choice. Who do we put our attention to? And if he's the guy on one-on-ones, hopefully he's going to
get those sacks. It reminds me not only of Von Miller in a way, although he's closer to his prime, I think, but who I keep forgetting. who was it who the Rams brought in, the edge rusher, but a linebacker, when they made the run to the Super Bowl a couple years ago. He like a pass rushing specialist, and everyone knows who I'm talking about if I said the name. What's that?
Von Miller?
You talking Von
No,
Miller?
Von Miller.
Pre-Von
This is
Miller.
their first run in, what was that, 18?
Oh, when they lost to the Pats?
Yeah.